Good morning, everyone. I'm David Mancuso with Mancuso Show Management, and here we go again. Uh, I guess the good news is that uh, our country is slowly moving out of the COVID-19 pandemic. The more shots we get in arms, the more we wear our mask and social distance. Hopefully, we'll all be back together again very soon. We're looking forward to that. In the meanwhile, here we go with our Mid-Atlantic Quilt Festival. And also coming up, I made this announcement a few days back, but the Greenville, South Carolina show on site has also been postponed to late April 2022. However, we are going to have a spring quilt festival online over those dates, the end of April. So stay tuned for that. Um, we have a very exciting day coming up. But what I'd like to really cover with everyone, since this is the first time we've done Mid-Atlantic online, what I'd like to cover is and make something very clear that the show is free to all, meaning that you can shop the vendors, see the competition quilts, see all the special exhibits, and see all of our live presentations at no cost. We do have a suggested admission, which is a link. There's a link right here to that in this. And we do have a suggested admission. If you'd like to help us out a little bit, that's fine. But we want to make sure that everyone knows that you do not have to get on and register. You do not have to pre-register to see this. You just go to our website or you link on here. And if you go to our website, right on the home page, there's a link there to our other website, which is our online quilt festival website. We just want to make that clear so everyone knows that they do not have to get on and register. No need to call our office or anything like that. We hope you enjoy it. We have a lot of things coming up today. But most of all, we would like you to, for sure, support our vendors. That's very, very important. They're trying to keep going during all of these hard times. And it's very important that we still have those vendors when we get back on site. Also, we have quite the competition today. And we couldn't do that without our sponsors. So double support our sponsors. We have some great sponsors. You'll find them, on the website. Please link to them, shop with them. We have tremendous sponsors here. The competition this evening will be, we will have an award ceremony this evening at 8 p.m. So Eastern time, everything is Eastern time when we talk about this. So we're really looking forward to you joining us for this virtual online show. Now, speaking of vendors, I'm going to be talking this morning, or we have a nice presentation this morning from Marcia Layton Designs. Marcia's got a very interesting background, and I'll be right back to talk about Marcia after this message from our good friends in Hampton. All right, we were talking about Marcia Layton Designs, and Marcia's been a face on the Mancuso show circuit for some time now. She has a very interesting background. Everyone starts somewhere with this quilting world, and she was actually a pre-K teacher for 20 years, and she started by making quilts with children's handprints, and then embellishing and designing around those handprints, so I think it's a really neat way to get started in this. I know she's going to enjoy everybody looking in today, and she also is well known for her children, not only her children's handprints, but her applique house quilts and many other things. So she's also into yo-yos, and so she's got a lot going on. So with no further ado, let us show you Marcia's presentation.
Hi, I'm Marcia Layton. I'm the owner of Marcia Layton Designs, and I'm here to give you a tour of my little virtual mini booth and kind of give you an idea of what I might typically bring to a quilt show to offer for sale. I am an applique designer. Most of my quilts are wall hangings, but I've done all kinds of things. Tea towels, I've done lap-size quilts as well. So in the booth you'll see an assortment of all the different designs. My specialty is machine applique, but I embellish everything with rickrack, ribbons, buttons, crystals, all kinds of trims, and most important of all, yo-yos. And if you're not familiar with yo-yos, they are a little fabric circle, long, old quilting technique. Typically bedspreads were made out of them, rows and rows of yo-yos. But I love the way they look as an applique, so I started putting them all over my quilts because I love the texture that they give to the backgrounds. So yo-yos were, as I said, an old quilting technique, but about 10 years ago it was made even easier by the invention of the yo-yo makers from Clover. So I became a big fan, and I sell these in the booth. They're come in all different shapes and sizes. There's 5 different sizes of the little circles, so when I'm doing a design, I've got options for all of my creatures and my different parts of the quilt. There are also some that are shaped like hearts, things like that, that make it add to your design repertoire. So to use them, they're just basically a little 2-piece plastic disc, and you snap your fabric in between the 2 layers. You'll trim out, this is already trimmed, but you would trim out typically a little circle and leave a little edge of fabric. That edge you would turn under. There's stitching lines on the top. You go in and out with a needle and thread, and pull everything apart once it's stitched, pull the thread, and you've got a yo-yo. So nice little finished circle on the end of the middle of the yo-yo. So I became totally obsessed with these, and the first quilts that I did were little wall hangings. And Flamenco Cove is one of the earlier quilts. Right now I'm going to feature some of the tropical designs because most of my new ones are tropical, but Flamenco Cove was one of the early designs, and you can see it was just a little wall hanging, little house, and from around the house I invented every little creature that I could think of that could use a yo-yo. So a lot of fun to make. And in the booth I have patterns for everything like this, but I also have kits for some of them as well. So if you need striped fabric or you know, all the detail, the trims and the details that you need for these quilts, I can offer that to you. So one of some of my newest quilts in the wall hanging design area are the Little Mermaid's Castle and then the Pirate's Gold. And if you can see the pirates, but they're down here with their treasure chest. And so all the landscaping, all the details on the little pirates and the parrots and things are done with yo-yo appliques. So they're a lot of fun to do. So, and over here on the left is a quilt called Pretty Mermaid, and this is a lap-size quilt, again, heavily embellished with little creatures and yo-yos that you can't see very well in this picture, but down below there are sea anemones, and they have ribbon detail that makes them 3-dimensional. Her little ruffle on her fin is also 3D. So the newest of the new, and this is the one I want to show you particularly, is a little quilt called Palm Party. And this one is hot off the press. It is a little wall hanging, and basically what I did was create, well, it's not a little wall hanging, it's a door size one. I created a background, which is the palm tree, and quilted it, have it all ready to embellish. And so from then on, I took pieces of a heavy-duty stabilizer, and I fused all these little miniature designs to the stabilizer, embellished them, and cut them out, and then hung them on the tree. And there are buttons sewn all over the tree so that the little loops can hang on there. In the pattern, there is, of course, the tree, and then there's all the designs for the ornaments. There's over a dozen different ones in here. And I also found that with some of my other patterns, things like let me backtrack here. I have some other patterns for tea towels. And I found that some of the patterns and the designs that I put on tea towels were letting themselves very well to be put on the palm tree as well. So a lot of options for you there on those designs. And I've got a whole box of the ornaments. I just couldn't stop. So here you see the dolphin from one of my tropical twist patterns. Here's the little sandcastle that's hooked up over here on the tree. So lots of fun to do. All right. Now, I mentioned the tea towels, and in the booth, basically I started making quilts, and then I went from the small wall hangings to making some other size wall hangings, the house size ones, to making some little miniature ones like this with maybe bigger creatures but smaller wall hangings. So we have a flamingo, we have the sea turtle, we have a seahorse. Very, very simple little patterns to do, and a lot of fun. But I started thinking in terms of big yo-yos as well, and so this quilt on the table is called Ocean Frolic. It's one of my best-selling patterns. It's a little lap-size quilt that can be adapted to a full-size bed as well. But yo-yo's gone big. Well, I couldn't stop with the tea towels, and I have multiple designs of these. Each pattern contains 6 designs, so you'll have a lot of options for your tea towels. And in the booth, I also stock the tea towels, and on the website as well. They're from Dunroven House. They're 100% cotton, great for applique, great for embroidery. Just people really like them a lot, and the colors are gorgeous. And we have small checks, large checks, solids, and then border prints as well. So, and I mentioned before that I started with the houses, and Lollipop Lane was actually my first pattern design. And so I have a whole series of Christmas quilts as well. We have, let's see, here's a couple more to show you. We have Simply Evergreen. This is done with using a little heart-shaped yo-yo maker, and then Simply Sparkly, another mini wall hanging with lots of simple detail, but a lot of fun. Okay. All right, and my best-selling pattern has long been Holiday Fun, and it was just simple little holiday designs put on a towel. So I couldn't stop with these towels, so some of my newer ones are also holiday towels. I have a series of patterns called Winter Charm, Fall Fest, and Summer Blooms, I'm sorry. Spring is yet to come, so I'm working on that one, so should be soon. But these are the winter designs. So the appliques are all very simply done, embellished with the rickrack and trims, and then, of course, yo-yos. And here's the fall ones. You can see a few of those as well. I can show you. Now, these are summer. Sorry. Give you some idea of the summer blooms for this. All right, so now some of my other new patterns are for children, and this particular one is called Dino Party. And I made this in several different colorways, and I made it for my grandson. I just love it. It's a nice little lap-size quilt with 3D dinosaurs all over the place. All right, and then one of my other new patterns is called, grab it here for you, is called Down Under. And again, another series of towels. I fell in love with Australian prints, so I decided to do a series of the Australian animals featured on the towels with the prints on for the border. But not everybody likes those, so I ended up doing a series as well using the batiks, other pretty fabrics that can be used for that. And if you really want to go crazy, on the website I have a free pattern for the Down Under creatures mixed up with multiple, over 40 of the different Australian fabrics. Now I don't stock these fabrics, but the pattern for putting the little blocks of the animals is on my website as well. So I hope you'll check out my website and have some fun shopping there. There's a little video on the site is for making yo-yos if you need some encouragement, and I'm always available to answer questions on patterns or any of the projects that you do undertake. So look me up at www.marcialaytondesigns.com, and you can follow me on Facebook too. Sign up for my emails, and then I'll keep in touch and hopefully offer you some nice shopping. Thank you.
Wow, that was great. One thing for sure, Marcia likes to quilt, and she certainly shares her enthusiasm with everyone. Make sure to go into the Merchants Mall. You can search for her in there. We have a search engine, or you can just breeze around and you can find Marcia Layton Designs and hopefully do some business with her. She's a great person, a great business. Okay, so Michael Merchanti will be back at 11 o'clock. He'll be talking with Cottonwood. Bernina Cottonwood Long Arm is one of our major sponsors, a long-time supporter of the Mid-Atlantic Quilt Festival. And he'll also be talking with Cute Monkey Fabrics. And so it's going to be another exciting presentation at 11 o'clock. See you then.